Okay, let's open Access and open our recipes database that we've been working on. And notice we've got our 4 tables in here. Again, if you have the yellow bar that asks you to enable content, click the enable button and click yes or okay on the little window that pops up. Okay, today's lesson is about creating forms so that you can more easily populate your tables. So we're going to create a form. We're going to create a form for each of our tables. Let's click on the contacts table. The first step to creating a form, you need to select the table in the navigation pane on which you want to create the form. So you then go to the create button. And the first way is real easy. We're just going to create form. And it creates a form. And it opens it in layout view. If you notice and you try to type in layout view, you can't type in any of these fields. To be able to use the form, you have to go to form view. And now we can type into the form. Let's go to the navigation bar down here. You see that it shows that we have 3 records in our contacts. And we can navigate through that by clicking these single arrows, or the arrow with the bar in front of it goes to the first record or to the last record. To create a new record, click the new blank record and let's enter a record. Let's see here, this company, let's just call it ABC Grocery. And the contact last name will be Williams. And Andy. And business phone, let's just make one up. Remember, we put the input mask in, so we don't have to type any of the symbols. We just type the numbers. Mobile phone. Fax number. Address. 26. Bread Lane. City. If you try to type more characters into the state, it'll ding at you because we've set that field size to only be 2. And if you know a 4-digit extension, you can put it in. And if not, you don't have to for the zip code. And there's no website for this. Well, let's go ahead and put one in. And then no comments. And then press tab. And you see that you get a new form. Let's put another company in. To move forward in a form, press the tab key. To go to the previous one, press the shift tab key. I should have said that already. So tab. takes you to the next form field. Shift tab takes you to the previous one. Alrighty, so we've entered two forms. Press tab. It'll take you to the next form. We're not going to enter into this form. We're going to save our work. We're going to go ahead and leave it this form name. You could give it a new form name if you wanted to. Click OK. And notice in our navigation pane, we get a new form. A new object shows up in our navigation pane. Let's close this form and go and open our table. And you see that our new records that we just entered into the form automatically go in and populate the table. And the form is a little easier to look at. It shows one record at a time instead of this jumbled up screen. You can imagine if the screen, we had 100 contacts in there, this screen could be very difficult to look at. So the form, let's go ahead and open it. The form helps to populate, or helps to, it's easier on the eyes. It helps us to enter the information more efficiently, and actually helps to reduce errors, because if you're in the table, if something happens and you scroll over here and you don't see this first field, notice the first field's missing, you might start typing here and go all the way across before you realize there's a problem, and then you have to start over again. So if at any time on your screen you're not seeing everything, always check your scroll bars. Make sure you've not scrolled over or too far down or too far up. We don't have enough records to have a vertical scroll bar yet, but a few students have asked me about missing things on their screen, and that was simply because they had accidentally clicked down here and scrolled over, and they didn't realize what had happened. So anytime you're not showing all of your fields, check this scroll bar. Also, check to make sure you haven't accidentally hidden one. If you hide fields, then they're not going to show up. So always make sure that you haven't hidden the fields, and if you have, right click on field name, click unhide, and then check to make sure that all of them have check marks beside them so that they're all showing. All right, so let's close the contacts table. Let's go ahead and save changes. Close the contacts form. And let's create a new form. Now, the way we created this one was the simplest and easiest way. We went to create, we chose form. Well, first we selected the contacts table, went to create, and chose form. For the customers table, we're going to do it a little different. Click on the customers table, click the Create button, and let's go to Form Wizard. Form Wizard takes you through, and you can choose only specific fields that you want to enter here. You can actually also choose fields for other tables to put in there as well. But we're going to keep it simple. We're going to choose all of the fields. To choose all of the fields, choose the double arrow, and it puts all of them as a selected field. If you're doing one field at a time or only choosing one field, choose the single arrows. But we're going to put all of our fields in our form so we can populate all the fields in the table. And we're going to click Next. And we're going to choose a layout. We're going to choose the justified layout for this one. And click Next. Customers, make sure your name is in there. And then click Finish. And it opens the form. And now we can type into the form. So we've got a customer. And just tab to get to the next field in the form. Now, this field is bigger. We didn't change the field size in our table structure, so it's got enough room showing here for 255 characters. So really, in our table structure, it would have been best if we had limited this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 characters. But we didn't, and that's the same for the phone number. We didn't limit it as either. We're not going to put a 4-digit extension on this. We're just going to press tab and go to the next one. Their birth date. The date format. Notice it's automatically right aligned. And it gets a little calendar. So we could put a date in there. We could select a date, but most of our customers aren't going to be this year. So we're going to put, we're going to edit that. They were born 1975. And favorite dish, hot chocolate. Alrighty, so we've got a dish here. Let's go to layout view. Let's change the view to layout view. Remember, layout view, you can't type into any of those forms. But let's change the format a little bit. For the first name field, see if we can change the field names to a red font in our form. And actually, let's just use that Format Painter button up there. Doing it the hard way. Favorite dish. Okay. Escape to get the Format Painter turned off. And let's do this one. Let's change this to left aligned. I don't like my date way over there. So we can do some formatting here on our form. We can even give it a background image. Let's see here. For browse, let's just go to our sample pictures. Remember, if you don't have sample pictures on your computer, You can find the sample pictures in the CBA files drive. There's a folder called sample pictures. My child obviously has been on my computer because I'm pretty sure he put that picture on there. Let me see. I've got a sample pictures folder. Where is it? Maybe my sample pictures. Oh, it's right there. I overlooked it. There we go. I can see easier that way. I'm going to put the tulips in. So you can put a background picture on there. Alrighty. So we need to go back, though, if we want to actually put information back into this form. We need to go to the form view. So click on the view button and it toggles to form view, layout view, form view. And then if you want to go into design view, you have to click the drop down arrow. Alrighty. I'm not a particular fan of a background image, but for some forms it might look a little nicer. We could, instead of leaving these field names, we could actually go back into layout view and we can change a fill color. Let's see here, shape fill. Let's try that. And we can do those. And let's see if our format painter will work on that. Yeah. So we can format these fields. We can actually even give them a darker outline. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Where to go? Shape outline. Let me try and a line thickness. Oh, that's too thick. I'm just playing around here or experimenting. That's the best way to learn sometimes. Okay, let's give it that line thickness. Which one did I choose? I chose that one, the 3.1. And again, we can format paint that. I missed this one first time around. And we've got our field names. Let's press Escape key in the top left-hand corner of your keyboard. And to turn off the format painter. So we've created and edited our form. And let's actually go up here and make this font a little darker. And let's make it black. And we can make it bold as well. And we can change the font type. So we can go in and edit our forms. Let's go to Home tab, go back to Form View, and let's do a new record. Our next customer And we can also just type in the date. We can either choose the calendar over there or we can just type one in. Many times it's going to be easier to type it in if it's a birth date. And press tab to go to the next form, and we are going to save, and we're going to close the form. Open the customer's table, and you see that our table has been formatted. Now Since we took the primary key off, there's no sorting. If we want to sort in alphabetical order by last name, click the drop down arrow here and choose Sort A to Z. That is ascending order. We can also sort Z to A. And since we may be sending birthday cards with coupons to our favorite customers, which would be all of them, we can sort by birth date, oldest to newest. Okay, so we can sort any of these fields by just clicking that drop down arrow and choosing which sort order we want. And then, so I'm just going to choose OK there, and we can save our table. Now here's the thing. If you have your table open, anything you type in your form will not go into your table until you close the table and reopen it. So if you find that you're typing in your form and it's not going into your table, that is most likely your problem. It will not populate your table if your table is open. You would have to close the table and then reopen it. So always make sure your table that you're wanting to populate is closed before you start typing into your forms. Let's go ahead and create a form for the cookies table. Just go to Create, choose Form, and remember when we do that, it opens in Layout View. We can also go to the Format tab from here, put in a new background image if we want. Go back to your sample pictures. I have a bunch of stuff in there. I don't know why I've added all that in there. Let's see here. There we go. That's a small picture, so it didn't cover it. So I'm going to undo that. I don't like it. Anyway, choose a sample picture. Let's see here. Chrysanthemums. There, that one did. Let's do a fill color, shape fill. Let's do a dark text. Let's bold the text. Let's make that font larger. 14 point. Use Format Painter and copy that format to the rest of these. Now, if we want to adjust the field width here, we can do that. Hold down Control and click on the rest of them to select them. And then we can resize those field widths here. Okay, and we can actually format all of these at once. Let's click over here on this field entry box. And we can give it a shape fill. And we can format the font all at once. Let's make that font larger as well. And there we've formatted our form. Let's change the name here. Let's make it a black font. Let's make it larger and bold. And so we've formatted that form. Save our changes. Oh, we haven't even named it yet. So we want to name it Cookies in Your Name. Click OK. And let's use the form wizard to create a form for the entrees table. Let's go ahead and close out this form over here. Click on the entrees table. Let's go to Form Wizard. Make sure it's showing that we're creating it for the entrees table. Select all the fields. Next, let's do this one. Let's leave this one as columnar. Click Next, and then make sure it has the correct form name. And let's open the form to view or enter information. Click Finish. And this one looks almost just like the one we do, Create Form. And then we can edit that. Save the form. And we would be ready for entering data the next time we open our database up. So that is our lesson over forms. Close the form. Okay, now let's look at how to print a form. Click on the cookies table, the cookies form, and open it. Double click on it in the navigation pane. And we're going to print just the chocolate chip cookie form. So let's go to File, Print, and let's print Preview to see how that's going to look. Now notice if we do this, it's going to print all of that background formatting. It's also going to print, if we look at our navigation bar, it's going to print cut off a little bit, and it's going to have several pages. So first thing we need to do is change it to landscape and make sure that it's not cutting off. Let's zoom it down a little bit so we can see that it's going to print the forms on one page wide. It's not going to have anything cut off, but it's going to print a lot of color and things that we don't want. So what we need to do is close the print preview. Once we've changed it to landscape, let's close the print preview. Go to File, Print, and click the Print button. Not Quick Print, click Print. And then we're going to actually cancel this. I need to check one more thing. Cancel. Let's go to File, Print, Print Preview, and choose Print Data Only. And you'll see that it's just going to print the data, and it's not going to print all that background formatting. We just want the information. The formatting is just to be more pleasing to our eyes. We're entering forms. So, close the print preview. For some reason, when I go to the print button, I don't have all the options I need here. So I'm going to close the print preview. I'm going to go to File, Print, and then choose Print. I'm going to choose Selected Records. I'm going to choose the Dell printer. I'm going to go into Properties just to make sure. Nope, wrong one. I'm going to go into Setup. So I can cancel Properties. I'm going to go into Setup. Make sure Print Data Only is actually checked. And then I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to click OK again. And this will print only that one form. So you have to follow these steps. So let's do this one more time. We're going to print record number 4, the Pecan Sandies. And we're going to go into File, Print, Print Preview. Okay, landscape is checked. Print Data Only is checked. So close the print preview. Go to File, Print, Print button. Select Selected Records. Go into the Setup. Make sure Print Data Only is still checked for that. Click OK, and then OK again. And that will print just those forms. Okay, now we're going to learn how to sort and filter forms. Before we get started, let's go change our table a little bit. We're going to change the number field or the calories per serving to a number data type. So close this form, and we're going to go open the cookies table. Cookies table, double click on it in the navigation pane. Click on the calories per serving field, go to fields, and change the data type to number. Yours was text. I'd already changed mine. Save the change, and then close the table. Let's do the same thing for entrees. Double click on the entrees table, go to the calories per serving, go to fields to change the data type. In the formatting group, change the data type to number, and then save and close the table. And notice now your calories, they were left aligned, now they're right aligned. You can tell, that's one way to tell if you have a number or a text format applied, unless you go and you change that alignment yourself. Go ahead and close this table, and now let's open the cookies form. By default, since we have cookie name as the primary key, if we don't apply a sort, it will sort it in ascending alphabetical order. You can go through the records by clicking the arrows on the record navigation bar. I'm going to click this first record button to get back to the beginning. Now let's sort by calories per serving. We're going to right click on the sort field in the form and choose sort smallest to largest. That's an ascending sort. And you notice on the home tab that button gets selected. And when we do, that sorts it in order from smallest amount of calories as we scroll through with our record navigator bar to the largest calories, and that's ascending order. Now right click and choose sort largest to smallest. Now you notice our first record is the cookie with 215 calories, and as we scroll through or click through, we get to the least amount of calories. That is descending order. So A to Z, or smallest to largest, is ascending. Z to A, or largest to smallest, is descending order. To remove the sort, go up here on the Home tab, and click the Remove Sort button. Now we can also filter. So if we want to filter by less than 200 calories, we can right click, and actually we have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equals 180, does not equal 180. Those are the predefined ones. But if we want to choose from more, click on number filters or mouse over it and you get this sub menu, and we're going to choose less than. When we choose less than, though, notice it says less than or equal to. So if we want less than 200, we have to put in something like 199, because we want 199 or less, not 200. Click OK, and notice that now we have two records showing: chocolate chip, 180 calories, and oatmeal raisin for 175 calories. You can toggle the filter on or off, show all 5 records, toggle it back on, and you see the 2 records. So you can have a filter if you want to pull that information, you can leave it on. To remove a filter completely, click the Advanced button and choose Clear All Filters. We can also filter by more than one criteria at a time, or more than one field at a time. So click on the Advanced button. It's on the Home tab in the Sort and Filter group, the Advanced button, and click Filter by Form. Notice your form changes view, or it changes the look. You don't see the data, but each field has a drop-down arrow at the right-hand side. And also down here at the bottom, you see Look For or tab. So we're going to do a cost per serving. We want to look for cookies that cost us 25 cents that we can sell for the price per serving 50 cents. And then click Toggle Filter button to see our results. And we have two records that come up. Chocolate chip cookies we can make for 25 cents and sell for 50. Oatmeal raisin we can make for 25 cents and sell for 50. Okay, now let's clear that filter. Clear all filters. And let's do a filter by form again. So Advanced, Filter by Form. And let's do cost per serving, 25 cents. And we can do or this time, or 30 cents. And you could keep going. If you had a lot of information, you might choose several criteria. And then toggle filter. We have three records. Chocolate chip cookies are 25 cents to make. Oatmeal raisin, again, our first two that we pulled up last time. And then peanut butter cookies are 30 cents to make. Let's go to Advanced. Clear all filters. Let's apply the Advanced filter again. So go to Advanced, Filter by Form, and cost per serving, let's do the 25. The price per serving, let's do the 50. And toggle the filter. And now let's print this. Go to File, Print, Print Preview. Make sure that Data Only is selected. Let's choose whichever one is going to give us less pages to print. So Portrait is going to give me, it's cutting off, so it's going to give me 2 pages to print with just a little bit. So I want to go back to Landscape. Landscape is just giving me 1 page, so that's what I want to keep. Close the print preview and go to File, Print, Print, and choose the Dell Laser MFP printer. If you need to choose it from the list, click the drop down arrow and click your setup. Make sure your print data is still checked here too, just to double check, and then click OK to print. Now your name doesn't print on these forms. I didn't see where it was printing on those, so make sure that you, when you collect these from the printer, that you staple them to the forms that you printed earlier in this tutorial, and that you also write your name on them.